Page 26, A Minor Tango. Tango. It's a dance, a tango. On page 25, they're showing you the A minor pattern. They call it a pattern. I call it a position. You call it anything you want. I don't care. The point is that A is the bottom note on a 5-finger position. A is the bottom note. And it could be anywhere. There's lots of A here. And it's the minor thing. I wish they'd get you to the scales because it's easier to understand the major and minor stuff. Because C, that's a major. F, that's a major. G, that's a major. Now we got a minor in there. So just hang in there. Once they get to the scales, I can explain it and put it all together for you. But in A minor, it's simply all the white keys with A on the bottom. And the chord, just every other note, makes it an A minor chord. See, these others are major chords, C major, F major, G major. But when it's a major chord, we generally don't say major. It's implied. It's just, a C chord is a C major chord. But if it's anything else, like minor, you got to say so. And there are other kinds of chords besides major and minor. We'll get there later. So this is an A minor chord. Yeah. And you have to include the minor. Huh? Yeah, so it's for the arpeggio. Okay. Now the chords we want to deal with are the main chords of the key. I guess I better go back and explain the main chords of the key. They're not explaining much to you, and this gets confusing. Probably should have explained this way long ago. Shame on me, but here we go anyway. Let's go back to C major for just a moment. All the white keys from C to C. Every note in there is numbered. That's 1 through 7, because if I go to 8, that's a C again, that's 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all numbered. So this is in the key of C. A chord built on that key, on that note, that step, is that number. So if I do a C chord in the key of C, a C chord is a 1 chord in the key of C. The F chord, well, that would be a 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a 4 chord in the key of C. It's a 1 chord in the key of F. Is this funner or what? And a G chord, or G7, whichever. Well, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 5 chord or a 5/7 chord one in the key of C, but it is a G chord or a G7 chord all the time. It's always that. So the number is based on the key you're in. The name is just whatever. Well, there are 3 chords that are the most important. That is, they're used the most in any key. And it's the same 3 numbers. So that's why I need to talk about this. And that is the 1 chord. I'm still in the key of C here. 1 chord, 4 chord, and the 5 chord. Or 5/7 chord. Whichever. The 1, the 4, and the 5. Or the 1, 4, and 5/7. Whichever. The numbers are 1, 4, and 5. And as it's the same numbers in any key. Those are the main, we call them the primary chords. We've had G major. G major has an F sharp in it, remember. So that G chord in the key of G major, that was a 1 chord. See, in the key of C, it's a 5 chord. In the key of G, it's a 1 chord. And then a 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, well, that's a 4 chord in the key of C, in the key of G. It's a 1 chord in the key of C. Is this confusing? Oh, yeah. So, and then the 5 chord's one more, which is a D chord or a D7 in the key of G. 5/7, a 5 chord. F chord, same way. And when we do this, we're playing the primary chords. It's a 1, the 4, because that's a 4, I'll put the C on the bottom. 5/7. Of the primary chords in the key. Well, in A minor, we got primary chords. A minor is all white keys, just like C major is, well, A minor is too. They have the same key signature, nothing. So we have the A minor chord, and then the 4 chord, or the 1, 2, 3, 4 here, that's a D minor chord. And then we come up one more to the G for a 5 chord. That is an E minor chord. They're all minor chords, or an E7. But in the key of A minor, it's a 1 chord, a 4 chord, and a 5 chord, or 5/7. And it's in close position. Well, again, the position, the pattern is the same. C major, to go to the 4 chord, I'm going to take the first two, these top two, and I'm going to take them up one note in the key. And in C major, it's white keys. So this goes up a note, and this goes up a note in the key. One note in the key. They all work that way. In G major, I want to go to the 4 chord. Well, just take that up one note in the key, and again, you have an F sharp, but that's not here. And that's up. So there it is. F major, take one note up in the key. Well, F major has a B flat, so we got to go here. And this goes here. They all work the same way. Well, in A minor, take one, again, all white keys, one note up in the key. This goes up, and that goes up. Because if I put the A on the top, I get that 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, the pattern is the same for all the keys. As long as you understand the pattern, you can figure it out. Okay, so that's the 4 chord. That's what all those whole notes are doing to you up there. Now the 5/7 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's look at this. Technically speaking, you have an E minor chord or an E7 chord. However, again, it'd be easier if I could explain the scales to you, but I'm trying not to do that right yet. In the 5 chord, when you're in a minor key, the middle note needs to go up a half step. It's not in the key signature, we're just raising it up a half step. So with here. So that makes it an E major chord or an E chord. Even though that's not in the key, because it's minor, we're going to take it up a half step. And the reason is because it's one under the, you have the 1, step 1 in A minor. Well, I go down 1, that's the 7th step. I'm going to raise the 7th step up here. So it's there. So I got the 1 chord and the 4 chord. Now the 5 chord is going to be here, and then we invert it, and we end up with that. Now, going from a 1 chord to a 5 or a 5/7 chord, let's go back to C major. We're going to use the top 2 notes in the hand position, because that's in the hand position, and the bottom note goes down a half step, 1 note. White or black, 1 note. That's the pattern in any key. In G major, top 2 notes, bottom note goes down a half step. F major, top 2 notes, down a half step. A minor here, top 2 notes, down a half step. So that's it. So then the 4 chord, 5/7, and those are the primary chords for A minor. So I don't care for the way they're presenting it, but that's what they're doing. You'll get used to seeing them in the music, but when you get to a lead sheet or something, it's nice to know the note names. They show you the note names in the music up above, the whole notes, where the whole notes are. The A minor, you have an A and the little M. The little M stands for minor. Remember, if it's major, it's implied. You don't have to say anything. Minor, you got to put a little m, a lowercase m after. Don't put a big M, a major. A capital M indicates major. But rather than putting a capital M in, we just don't put anything, and major is implied. But a little m you got to put in. So it's an A minor. Then we have a D minor. And then we have the E major, because again, with the fifth chord, 5 chord, we're taking the middle note up 1. And I'll explain why later, just do it for now. So you have an E and then, or an E7. And that's a major too, because that's major and you're adding a 7th. I threw a lot at you, but we'll get it, because I'm going to repeat this over and over and over. And a minor tango is A minor, the key of A minor, it's a tango. Let's look it over. It's 2 lines long, treble bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature. So you say, oh, that's C major. Well, there's actually a minor key with the same key signature on all of them. And the minor key that has no sharps or flats is A minor. So it's C major or A minor. And you got to look at the piece to determine which it is. Which is it? Well, I go to the last measure because most pieces will end on their one chord, which tells you the name of the key. It does not have to end on a one chord, but most do. And if you look at the last measure, we're here. That's an A minor chord. We figure this is an A minor. Why you need to know that, I'll explain that later. Just hang on there. Just remember it's C major and A minor have no sharps or flats. 4/4 time signature, right hand, we get the chords. So you get the A chord, the one chord, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then the 4 chord, and then the 5/7 chord. And if this doesn't fit, you can do that. I don't know how big your hands are. It depends. This or this, whichever. Just play it. That's the 5/7 or the E7 here. As much for that. Left hand, the rhythm. 1 and 2 and the dotted quarter note. 1 and 2, and then something else comes on the and of 2 because the quarter note takes a beat, the dot takes a half a beat like an eighth note. So something comes after 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2. Now in the second measure, I recommend the last note come down a little bit and use second finger. This way, we're a little closer to where we want to be. You don't have to move as far. If you use third, you got to go farther. But second, you're here. I don't want to move any farther, and I have to. So I recommend the second finger in the second measure. 1, 2, not 2, not down. Scratch up. Scratch up. Here. In beginner music, and this is still beginner music, they try and keep you in a nice, neat 5-finger position. But you're going to have to start getting out of that. You're going to spread out, you're going to scrunch up and all this kind of thing. Okay, let's do that here. I want to connect this left hand, and I'm moving around. I don't want to use a 5-finger position all the way through. It's moving around too much. I want to crawl around. So it starts out all right, although I told second, this way you don't have to move as far. You're down here. You crunch up. But to go up, to measure 5, I want this note. That's a little inconvenient. So to prepare for that, I'm going to do a 4 on the G sharp, the last note, and measure 4. Then I can do a 3, 2, 1. I connect them all. I just crawled up. And second, just keep second on that, because you got to go back down. 1. That's a little more advanced, but I'm going to ask you to try it out. Going from the 4th measure to the 5th measure. Here. That. I'm going to 4 here. The last note in the 3rd measure, 4th measure. And then 3, 2, 1. Because this is also a standard fingering for that chord. We don't always finger it this way. We can finger it this way when we need to. And we need to, so do it. Here, and then go down. Okay. Put the hands together with the right hand isn't doing much. So 1, 2. See, 1 and 2. I play the chord on beat 2, which is where the dot is. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Get the idea? The last measure is fairly 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. So I can put the hands together, and then I go through slowly and get rid of any hesitations, and then I add the articulation. We have staccatos in the left hand. The first 3 notes in each measure, you're pretty much going to slur those. Doesn't say anything, but I'm telling you, go ahead and slur them. The right hand just playing it. And then the last measure, you get accents. So you just play them a little louder. Not staccato, not short, just louder. Then the dynamics I only give you one, that's mezzo forte, and there's no melody. This is accompaniment here. The melody is at the bottom, it's a duet. So this, both hands are about the same here. Mezzo forte is whatever you think sort of loud is. As far as the speed goes, sultry is not a speed, it's a mood. But they give you the 120. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Rest. Now I'd like to play this part at the bottom, the melody, so we do a duet. You can play your part right where it is, but I'm going to speed it up a little closer to how fast it goes. I'll give us 4 counts. Now when you do the duet, I recommend you come down. See, the dynamics are adjustable. You have to adjust them when you're playing with other people so you blend in with the other people. You know, I think it may be an error, I'm not sure, but they're telling you up above that the accompaniment to do that at moderately loud. And they're saying the melody down at the bottom to do that at moderately soft. That doesn't make any sense because we want to hear the melody. It should be the other way around. So I suggest when you do a duet, you play your part softly. Stay under the melody. However loud the melody is going, stay under it. Whoever is playing the melody, how loud they do it, that controls. The melody controls what's going on, and you have to adjust accordingly. So I give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 1. 1.